Good morning, Birmingham, 8:06. Dixon inviting Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Thanks for hanging out with us on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. We're going for a high of 79 today, 82 for a high tomorrow with a 30% chance of rain, 40% chance on Wednesday as we drift into the 80s, 83, 84. And we finally hit about a 50% chance of rain on the weekend, but that's still 5 days away. Things could change exponentially between now and then.
It absolutely could.
So
And
let's
hopefully for Easter weekend, maybe the rain won't be that great.
maybe just have a backup plan. If what you had going on involved being outside, you may want to reschedule that for another day. If you were planning on being resurrected, just put it off for a couple of days.
Resurrected?
So, yeah.
Really?
Resurrected.
People were planning on that?
People don't want to resurrect on a rainy day. If you want to come out, imagine rolling the stone away. You come out, you're like, oh.
On an awful rainy day.
Drizzly.
You close
gray.
it back. You go,
That's right.
I'll
You're
try
like,
again tomorrow when
maybe,
the sun's out.
Maybe tomorrow when things
Really?
are brighter and nicer.
Listen, you get one shot
I
at
don't
that.
think that's how that works.
No,
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
think so
it's you
either.
pretty much come out
That's
at
it.
that
You
point
go.
anywhere. My favorite part of that story, by the way, is how the apostles race to the tomb. And for some reason, we have to put in there that I can't remember who it was. He beat
John. He just went to it, man.
John beats Peter.
Why was that important?
And John's going to be like, first. I made it first. And Peter's going to be like, no one's going to remember this.
That's all they remember.
That's why he put it in.
A couple of thousand years later, we're still talking about it. What the hell?
I was first. I'm faster
That's
than
right.
you.
Number one.
I
I believe, yes. And John spaketh unto Peter and said, Neener, neener, neener.
Imagine
I have
that was in
defeated
there.
you to the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cripes, this thing is empty. It
Neener,
is
neener, neener.
8:08 with Dixon inviting, and it just gets weirder from here. How
Yes,
about
it
we just
does.
dive in? Yeah.
And now, it's Dixon Inviting's top 3 things you need to know.
An African nation calling for Ilhan Omar to be extradited after J.D. Vance claims that there's really no question she committed fraud, immigration fraud. The only real question is how do we go about prosecuting her? We got to investigate her. We got to prosecute her. The Republic of Somaliland, which is a partially recognized state in the Horn of Africa, reacted in a post on X. They have their own little X post there at Somaliland. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
To the claim that Vance made. Deportation, please. You're just sending the princess back to her kingdom. Extradition. Say the word, the Post said. Wow. That is a different story. Here's the thing. Somaliland and Somalia, two different places. Somalia is where Ilhan Omar came from. Somaliland, not big fans of Somalia.
No.
And so apparently they're like, why don't you send her here so we can try her for her crimes? Because what people don't understand about Ilhan Omar is that she was not one of the downtrodden people who fled Somalia. She was one of the oppressors in Somalia. She was one of the bad guys who came here and is now acting like, I managed to flee Somalia. She was one of the people who was doing all the bad stuff in Somalia, keeping food from people and living the life of Riley and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Somaliland broke away because they're like, we don't want to be a part of this any longer. We don't like any part of this. We think it's terrible. And we want to have our own little nation. We think we can do it better. And consequently, they're trying to get their own thing going over there, and they would like to kind of see her get tried for her sins, both here and there.
Do you feel like maybe that's a long way off, that this whole process to try to figure out is going to take too much time almost?
Oh, almost certainly.
Which is a shame.
Well,
it really is.
First thing you're going to have is people who just get in the way, I mean, think about this for a second. Nobody even really debated whether or not Joe Biden was selling influence or the illusion of influence while he was in office. And I mean in office as a senator, in office as vice president, and in office as president. He was selling some access or illusion of access to all of these foreign countries. China and, was it Hungary? Romania was one of them for sure. Russia, there was money going from Russia into the Biden family, and it was going through all of these different little shell corporations and things. And you couldn't get the media to pay attention to this on a bet. You couldn't get them to even start to investigate it. At no time did they say, no, we looked into it and that's not true. They just wouldn't look into it.
That's right.
So how are you going to get the media to look into this and say, did Ilhan Omar marry her brother? Which, by the way, again, people are mistaken about this. They're saying that she married her brother so she could come to this country legally. No. She was already here. She married him to bring him into the country illegally. That's the problem. And if you actually do a little investigating, but there's no appetite for it.
No. Well, it's all the left. Well, you're kind of outnumbered.
Oh, it's perfectly
left
okay.
Media to the right media.
When our
like,
people do
why.
these things, it's fine. We don't care. A federal judge has stopped the Nexstar merger with a restraining order. In a major blow to Nexstar, Chief Judge Troy Nunley for the Eastern District of California issued a detailed order granting a temporary restraining order. Nunley found that the transaction likely violates Section 7 of the Clayton Act by substantially lessening competition in local television markets and increasing transmission fees for distributors and consumers. DirecTV, the nation's largest satellite video programming distributor, brought the suit this month seeking to halt Nexstar's $6.2 billion acquisition of Tegna. I could keep reading this, but it would be a whole bunch of names of companies you've also never heard of. The combined company would own more stations than those owned by NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS combined. That's a lot of stations.
That is.
Federal court took the unusual step of stopping this merger because Brendan Carr rubber-stamped the most massive TV consolidation in history using a kangaroo process, says Newsmax CEO Christopher Ruddy, commenting on the ruling. The DirecTV case is one of the multiple legal actions underway after the FCC Underchair Brendan Carr approved the Nexstar merger over a week ago. There is such a thing as having too much, too big a monopoly.
And I think this would have been.
This
is
certainly up there, but you know, when you look at the same company, Disney owning both Fox and ABC, you're like,
that's a lot.
How are we allowing that to happen? How did that ever go through? That's weird to me. And now you've got Paramount buying up Warner Brothers, right? So now you're going to have that whole mishmash of a company that also owns CBS, by the way, while they're at it. And, you know, these big companies, they just keep getting bigger. We're at the point where about 7 companies own everything.
Don't like it.
I'm not crazy about it. Yeah.
Let's take it back to the mom and pop zone and different things.
I would be.
It seemed like that worked a little better.
I think they worked more in the community's interest anyway.
Yeah, definitely in that. We've seen that in radio for sure.
Absolutely. You reach a point where, you know, you march into the corporate drummer. There was a famous, several years ago, famous clips of Sinclair broadcasting, all reading from the same script. You know, they had all of their news people, and they just kind of mirrored them one after another, and they kind of grew them, and it became this panel of 64 different news people reading the exact same script in the exact same way, and you're like,
you're all a bunch of robots.
Yeah, you're really not benefiting your community when you're just marching to this corporate drum, and the goal is always, well, we need more money, more money, more money. This is what corporations do. I don't fault them for that.
Then it's no longer about the person that's watching your TV channel or your network or your radio station, whichever it might be.
It's about the shareholder, which I understand.
Is.
That is sort of, you know, what corporations are in the business of doing.
I get that too.
Just say when you make them too big, this is what you end up with. Birmingham Stallions had their own No Kings rally as they beat the Louisville Kings 15-13 in McCarron's debut as a head coach. Good job,
AJ.
guys.
Woo-woo. Way to go, Stallions. That's exciting.
Started with an away game this year, of course, 15-13. It was in Louisville, the UFL opener at Lynn Family Stadium. The gritty victory was highlighted by 3 game-altering turnovers by the Stallions defense and a game-winning 14-yard touchdown pass from Matt Corral, who's doing great, by the way, to Justin Ross with less than 2 minutes remaining. Let's see if they can keep this going. Remember, these guys, out of 4 years of USFL and UFL, the Stallions have been champions 3.
That's pretty good. That's a very good record.
3 out of 4. It's not bad, according to Meatloaf.
Yeah, the games are absolutely so much fun.
They are fun.
I go out there with Boomer. He's got his cowboy outfit on that he wears.
Probably less fun now that he's sober, but still.
Richard Dixon.
That was so wrong.
I'm just messing with him. He's a barrel of monkeys, whether he's sober or drunk.
Yeah. Richard kids.
He kids all right.
He's been hanging out with Tiger Woods. 8:15, Dixon and Finding. ProLift Garage Doors, 286-9727. Had another friend reach out to me over the weekend. What's that garage door company? ProLift Garage Doors, 286-9727. You need them because your garage door doesn't open when you push the button. You need them because you need a new garage door. You need them because you have to have emergency service because you can't get the garage door open no matter what. It's bent, it's dinged, it's not working properly. Oh, the spring is broken or gone. These are all problems that could be affecting you. And with the emergency service, it'll cost you a little bit more, but they can take care of it right now on the spot. Johnny, on the spot. They did it for me. I can't tell you how much I appreciated the great work that they did. The price was fair. The timing was fast. They got it done in less than an hour, had the parts on the truck necessary, and I basically had to start from scratch with a whole new head on my garage door opener. These guys are the best. That's my friends at ProLift Garage Doors. When you have a garage door letting you down, get the uplifting experience that ProLift can give you. 286-9727 or online at proliftdoors.com. Leah, Donnie Iris. Yeah, this one he had Love is Like a Rock. Maybe one other I can't think of off the top of my head.
He's a good artist. He should have had more hits.
He and Greg Kinn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe if they teamed up together.
Mm-hmm. It's never too late, is it? Unless one of them's dead.
Like Hall & Oates.
Yeah, Greg Kinn
Greg's dead.
is dead.
Oh, see, that doesn't work.
I think Donnie.
There's
Iris.
always AI, though. You can combine those two.
Sure. Now that you mention it, I think I will.
Easily do it.
This is my new plan.
What?
Just combining random artists together.
Yeah. AI. You could, yeah.
Here's the plan. Are you ready for this?
Copyright that.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this without their permission.
Oh.
And see where it goes.
Oh, yeah. You'll end up in a courtroom.
Lady Gaga.
Who?
And the Goo Goo Dolls. Goo Goo Gaga. It's going to be great.
Goo Goo Gaga.
Yeah.
I think it's
Maybe
a
we'll
great
throw
idea.
in Kaja Goo Goo too.
Yeah,
yes,
good.
and
Goo
they could do Radio Gaga for their hit song.
It's getting crazier in here.
It's a great plan.
Folks, let's get in touch with B-Dry. We've got a chance for some rain this week, just about a 20% chance today. But each day that goes by, it kind of goes up. So if it's one of those things around your home that you've put off, don't do it anymore. Call them, David Fevitt and the guys at B-Dry, to resolve any water issues in the crawl space or basement. And here's the other thing. Cracking in the foundation of your home. Now, when you hear that, sometimes it happens. It's just the ground has settled a little bit. It could be that the water issue has now led to the cracking in the foundation. Either way this goes, you've got to get it resolved. It's got to be fixed, and the professionals at B-Dry can help you with that. So give this company a call, in business for over 65 years, at 942-1976. There's no problem with calling them and just say, look, I'd like to just talk to you guys. I'd like to get a free quote to kind of see what this is going to cost and kind of talk to me about the process of this. I mean, how do we do this? B-Dry will explain all of that before they get going. So call the pros today. Water in the crawl space, mildew on the walls in the basement, cracking in the foundation, they can fix it. So just get in touch with them. BDryAlabama.com, that's their website, or schedule that free quote at 942-1976.
823, Dixon and Vining, follow-up to a story we had some time ago about the woman who went missing 24 years ago while Christmas shopping. She's back, has now reunited with her daughter, who was 14 when she disappeared. And she didn't disappear unknowingly. She left of her own volition.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Left her husband and 2 kids,
yep.
I believe it was.
3, I think.
3 kids?
3 kids, yeah. And then you found out, there was some domestic violence situation. And you go, oh, well, of course, that's why she fled. And then you go, no, she was beating him. She was beating her now ex-husband, I imagine. I assume they got divorced somewhere along the line. She was also a raging drunk, had an entire shed full of empty and half-full bottles of liquor that she was engaging in drinking on a regular basis. And she had a DUI that she was fleeting. I guess they called it a DWI in that section of the world.
Back in 2001.
In 2001.
Yeah.
And she missed her court date, and she ran off in December. And she ended up back now in court, which is where she ran across her not 14-year-old daughter now. She's, 38. Mm-hmm. And they hugged briefly before they had to run inside. She told deputies that she had left due to domestic issues. Her daughter said she forgives her. I understand life happens. We all go through things. Life is too short for me to hold a grudge against her because she's my mom. And while Amanda Smith is still processing her mother being alive, Michelle Huntley Smith is still facing a pending charge of failing to appear in a 2001 DWI case. I'm going to support her any way I can, Amanda Smith said. I still want her as my mom, as a friend. We'll just go from there. Might turn out she's a miserable person. You don't really know that, Amanda. Just chill.
Maybe she's, had time to change her life around and has realized the mistakes that she made. And
nothing will improve your life like living for the last 24 years in a trailer in a swamp.
Down by the river, eating government cheese.
Eating government cheese. She apparently has not improved her situation much. Her neighbors say, well, she keeps to herself. We don't really know her that well. We know she's a drinker. You're like, okay, so that didn't change at all, apparently, in this situation. Maybe she'll pull it together,
Well, maybe her daughter can assist her to maybe quit drinking.
Keep a good thought.
That there's somebody in her life that really gives a darn. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what she needs.
Right? Maybe that's exactly what she needs. Let's talk to look, Rick is in McCullough. He wants to come back and talk about darkness versus what? Versus darkness
light.
Versus light.
Okay, this is going to get real.
Who do you think is going to win in that case? Hello, Rick. You're on Talk 99.5 with Dixon and Vining. What's up?
So glad to hear your voice.
You and me both.
Yeah, the family's back. This is a godly country over here, and that's what made it great.
Made what great?
United States.
Oh,
This whole country was formed on Christianity, I believe.
okay.
That government didn't form religion. Religion formed the government. That's my opinion.
Well, you're not getting a fight out of me on this. You're welcome to your opinion. Obviously we used a lot of Christian values and traditions, and the Ten Commandments, had a part in deciding how we were going to set up our laws and our systems. And we believe that our rights are given to us by God Almighty. I mean, these are all very positive things. I can't argue with you there. Is there another point to what you want to say, or was that just it?
No, I'm just glad you're back, and I hope you're healthy. And I've been praying for this country, and I know we're being undermined from within. The enemy's here. We got to fight. That's what Trump said. And Trump, the arrangement syndrome is real, folks.
Fight, Rick.
Running on the platform to get elected.
There you go.
Trump.
Thank you for the call, Rick. We appreciate it. Fight.
Mm-hmm. He's glad you're back.
I'm glad to be here, too.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea.
He didn't say I'm glad. He's not glad that I'm back.
No.
He just said he was glad
he doesn't
you were
care
back.
for, I think.
No,
I believe I heard
that's what
that.
I got through that whole call.
Yeah, you and me both.
He doesn't care for me or John.
That's my understanding as well.
He just said he's glad you're back.
He loves me, though.
Yeah.
That's the
Did he think you were
all
dying?
about Richard.
That's about time.
Did Rick think you were dying?
I thought I was dying for a while there.
We didn't tell anybody that.
I was.
Rick acts like he was praying for you because you were dying.
There was a time on Friday when I said to myself,
I'm dying.
if I have not improved even a little bit by tomorrow, I'm going to drive myself to the emergency room and say, boys, fix me, because this ain't good. But I woke up the next day and I was infinitesimally better. And
That's
I was
good.
like, okay, we must be.
You got to take that.
These pills are taking me in the right direction very slowly. But eventually it got me to the point where I can be here. Yay, me.
Yay.
And by the way, Rick says something there that is probably I don't intend to make fun of, and I don't want to make fun of, which is he says he prays for this country every day, as should we all, okay? There's a lot of power in prayer, and you probably shouldn't stop doing it when it comes to this country, when it comes to our leaders. I prayed for Barack Obama every day. I prayed for Joe Biden every day. So I'm certainly praying for Donald Trump every day. This is not the kind of thing that you want to leave up to chance, and if you believe that there is a higher power and that he is interested in our everyday lives, then by all means, there's no reason not to pray. And keep in mind that sometimes the good Lord uses bad leaders to teach us all very important lessons. So you may think that he's doing that right now with Donald Trump, or you may think that he was doing it with Joe Biden or with other presidents, as the case may be. You can't look around the world and see the horrific leaders that are, in some of these other countries and think that there's not kind of a reverse plan going on there. So I don't wish to make light of that when Rick says he prays for this country every day. I'm 100% on his side, and I think, we could all probably take a lesson from that. Work Trucks is downtown at 2324 3rd Avenue South. If you are interested in a truck for your business, these are the guys that you really need to call. And when I say call, I mean drop by or visit them online. Work Trucks with an X, LLC.com, worktrucksllc.com. Over 100 vehicles in stock. Trade finance, get an extended warranty. It's all right there at Work Trucks. If you are needing a pickup truck or a utility bed truck or a flatbed truck or a dump truck or something with a diesel engine in it, they've got it all. It's all right there. Like I said, over 100 vehicles in stock. Every one of them's been through a 125-point inspection. You can trade, you can finance, you can get an extended warranty. What are you waiting for? Work Trucks, the Southeast #1 pre-owned work truck dealer, downtown at 2324 3rd Avenue South, or online, worktrucks with an X, LLC.com, where they are all about trucks. Oh, man. This video was like Jeffrey Epstein's fantasy come to life, wasn't it?
Oh, man.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, I'm not playing anymore.
Yeah, turn that off.
That's just kind of creepy.
I was
out.
always really uncomfortable.
freaked out.
Always uncomfortable with that video. I mean, I was like, oh, what is that? No, this is wrong. Stop that right now.
It is all wrong.
Bill Clinton was like, I really like that video. Could you play that again for me? That'd be lovely. Yeah. Hillary, come here. Look at this video.
No, Hillary didn't want any part of that. She's like, no, Bill, I don't want to know.
8:35 with Dixon Inviting, Talk 99.5, talk995.com.
All right, let's get the finances all in order. And you're like, well, I got them all together. Are you sure? You know, you've got everything planned out. You've got your path set for when you get ready to retire and money that needs to go here or there. Well, if you're not exactly sure, the guys that do know are the Knowles Group. Danny Knowles and the Knowles Group, knowlesgroup.com. Reach out to him today. Make sure that you do have all your bases covered, because there's a lot more than just saying to yourself, well, I'm going to invest my money here or there. I'll be just fine. Is that a guessing game? Well, that's not the plan to have. The plan to have is to make sure that you have the money that you need in the right places, growing to the maximum that it can possibly grow, so that when you get to that retirement age, you've got no worries. How nice would that be? And here's the thing. It's really, really simple. It's just a matter of reaching out to these guys and talking with them a little bit. Danny will say that all the time. When I've talked with him before, he's like, look, we just, we get to know your Talk 99.5 listeners on an individual basis. Everybody's a little bit different. That's why we customize a plan for them to get them where they want to go. So if you haven't done this yet, it may be one of those things that you've put on the back burner. Don't do it. Get it taken care of today. Call Danny Knowles and the Knowles Group, no matter where you are in life, close to retirement or just young and starting out, and get this together. TheKnowlesGroup.com. That's N-O-L-E-S, TheKnowlesGroup.com.
8:37 and time for this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're finally down to 4. And strangely enough, they were all ranked in the top 4. Here with our NCAA basketball tournament update, it's Molly Robbins.
Molly!
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
You
Hope
got to
you're
figure
well.
the people who come up with these numbers have got to be pretty happy when they have number 1 versus number 1 in one bracket and number 2 versus number 3 in the other bracket. They're like, okay, this has gone better than expected.
Right.
There's no number 14s in there. That's good. We didn't screw that up.
Oh, but that would be so fun.
Oh, sometimes it is. I mean, we've certainly seen some of the lower ranked guys, number 6s and 8s and whatever, sneak their way in there.
Like when we got NC State as an 11 seed in there, man, that was just awesome.
But I have to tell you, it is nice to see that Michigan gave the beat down to Tennessee as well. It wasn't just
Bama.
Alabama. Michigan is obviously a powerhouse team that is difficult to stop.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if Arizona has any sort of stopping power against them when they play on Saturday. But man, oh man, I like Arizona. I'm a fan. I want to see them do well, but I don't know that they will. I think Michigan just has their number. I think Michigan has everyone's number.
I think they do too. And personally, I would like to see Michigan win it all. And I talked a little bit about it on Friday, but obviously, former UAB Blazer Jax Lindeborg being on that team, and he is the star of that Michigan train, basically. Like, he is the conductor, and Michigan is just so much fun to watch. The beginning of the Alabama game, Alabama stayed in it. They were leading at halftime, but then Michigan just came out of the gate in the second half, and they just totally ran away with it. And you kind of, in Tennessee, what was the halftime score? It was 26-48 or something.
Yeah, that's painful.
Oh, it's just awful.
That's when you're like, we're not coming back from this.
No, that's hard to come back from.
Yeah.
But I had Michigan winning my bracket all along because I watch a lot of Big Ten basketball, and I know how good this Michigan team is. But if they can get past, whoever wins the Arizona-Michigan game, which I think will be Michigan, I think we'll be cutting down the nets.
Wow.
Next week.
That's probably a pretty good guess. Now, let's talk about how horribly Nebraska did.
Do we have to?
We talked about Alabama. Got to talk about Nebraska.
Listen, we can rip off the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so brutal.
Listen to her. She doesn't want to talk about it.
No, it's fine. You had him the entire game, and then you fell apart down the stretch. I talked to the guys about this, I think, on Friday. And I felt like I was watching Nebraska football circa 2021 again. It's like the last 4 to 5 minutes of the game, you just fall apart. You were winning, it's just so frustrating.
No, they came in nicely, finding a way to lose. They were very Auburn-esque in that.
Yeah.
Finding a way to lose.
That's a good way to put it. They found a way to lose.
Yeah.
They did. They lost steam, and Iowa got hot. I mean, the way that they were shooting from 3 was just remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
But I was happy to see Iowa lose to Illinois.
Yeah. That was,
And lose they did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on, Iowa could not be in the Final Four.
How about the UConn-Duke game last night, man? That was, Duke.
Oh.
Duke already had their hotel rooms picked out. They were ready to
Oh,
go.
yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, we're going to the Final Four. Wait, whoa,
Yeah.
what just happened now? Hold on.
You can't do that playing the number 2 team.
Mm.
You just don't know.
Man.
You know?
But they came back from 19 down.
Yeah.
With 6 minutes left, they still were down by double digits.
I mean-
and
They figured
for,
a way.
for UConn to
Yeah.
manage to,
Yeah.
to make that happen, very impressive.
Games like this just make March Madness, and just truly, because you have 2 blue bloods of college basketball, both Duke and UConn. What I love about this too is that, like, people always joke like, "Oh, when Duke loses, America wins." But when you look at Duke, the last handful of NCAA basketball tournaments, okay, this year blew a 15-point halftime lead versus UConn. At one point, they were up by 19. Last year, 2025, blew a 14-point second half lead versus Houston
Mm-hmm.
in the Final Four.
Mm.
In 2024, they blew a halftime lead against NC State. In 2023, they lost in the round of 32 to the Tennessee Vols. And in 2022, they blew another halftime lead against North Carolina.
Yikes.
Duke, okay, fun fact for you. Duke is now the only number 1 seed to lose after leading by 15 points at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, 1 seeds when leading at half or by 15 or more at half were 134-0.
Mm.
Now they are 134-1. Thanks, Duke.
Well, this is another fun fact. Before all of this losing, especially after leading at the half, before all that started, they were just the Devils. Now they're the Blue Devils because they're depressed.
That's funny.
That is funny.
It's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Yep.
All right, enough about that cute little NCAA tournament. Let's get to the important one, the NIT.
Woo!
Yeah. How we looking over there?
I think Auburn's going to win it. I mean, they should.
Yeah, you think they're going to win it?
I mean, they should.
Yeah, Nebraska should have won too.
Well,
So,
but we're not in the NIT, okay? At least we're in the actual tournament.
Quit picking
That's
on
true.
her.
no, I'm just saying, Auburn figures out a way to lose. They've got a gift for it. They've
That's true.
got it down.
But when you're playing Illinois State on Thursday,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
You
should-
can
I
do
mean-
that.
they
Right.
defeated Nevada. That happened on Wednesday, 75-69. I was out, so I have to go ahead and get the plug
He's
in.
playing catch
oh,
up.
yeah.
While
forgot
I
that you were out.
can. I was not here.
By the way, I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad to be here, too. Thank you very much.
He
I
was on his
appreciate it.
deathbed.
I
In
was
case
on
you
my
didn't hear.
deathbed.
Oh.
It was pretty sick.
It was close.
What'd you have?
It's a viral infection that I've now passed to you. So
No,
yeah.
you're not. You're not going to get it. You're fine.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's keep a good thought that Auburn can actually, win this thing out.
Yeah.
And walk away with some kind of a trophy, a participation trophy. Hey,
Participation
we're
trophies
number
is-
69.
Woo,
We're number
NIT.
69.
Is that what we're
Well, yeah,
giving
it's
out?
Auburn
be
and Illinois
chanting.
State, and then they'll play the winner of New Mexico and Tulsa. The Lobos.
The Lobos. That's Mexican for wolf, or a bad 70s pop singer.
Band, yes. Mhm.
I've never even heard of that.
Me and you and a dog named Boo. You never heard me and you and a dog named Boo?
Me and
No,
you.
I don't
Traveling
think
and
so.
living across the land.
She was talking earlier about watching the movie Blue Blood. She said, "I know, even though it was made in like 1997, it seemed like it was modern day." I'm like, some of us remember 1997 very well.
Mhm. Yes, we do.
Actually, it's 1994. I looked at
1994. I remember
Yeah.
that in 1994 very
You
well
need
as
to
well.
see it.
As well.
It's very good.
Yeah. So you did see it, right? You saw the movie?
Yeah, it was Blue Chips.
Okay, Blue Chips.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. And you enjoyed it? You liked it? It was
I
a
did.
classic sports movie. you
I
know?
did. I really liked it. It kind of like, it really spoke to like the current times that we're in. And obviously I wasn't alive at the time, but like I'm not naive. I know that college sports have always been this way.
Mhm.
But it's like you have these kids who are like, oh, I want a car. Oh, I want $30,000 in cash. Oh, my daddy needs a new tractor. And it's like you still get that today, except it's worse.
No,
Because people
10
are doing it
times.
publicly
That's
and you
right.
can't get in trouble for it.
Now
Right.
you're doing it legally.
Like,
Legally, you
Exactly.
can do it. It's just
looky here. I bought
Well,
my
this-
mom a mansion.
This opens up the door, though, for the next step here. We were talking about potentially now the sports are going to be ending. I mean, what do we do after the end of the NCAA tournament? And
Baseball?
nobody wants to talk about baseball. Even
No?
baseball players are bored by baseball
Really?
conversation.
Oh,
yeah.
I like
We got the
baseball.
Stallions. How about the Stallions?
There's a
winning?
reason
Oh,
why
they
people.
did win over. Yeah, beat the
Good for
Louisville
them.
Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's a reason why people think about baseball when they're trying to, keep things on the DL.
See, I like baseball. I've always been a big baseball fan, though.
Well, that's
I like Barons
There's one of you.
baseball.
I do too.
yeah.
The Barons and the Detroit Tigers. Those are my teams.
Oh my.
Well, I like the Barons because now I live in Birmingham.
Right.
That's good.
But I've been a Tigers fan since I was a kid.
Speaking of that, Tigers fans, what's the talk over on Jocks this morning about Tiger Woods?
I actually don't know yet.
Oh, they
Yeah.
haven't said yet.
No, I
It's
haven't
bad.
heard anything, but yeah, not great.
Not good for his future.
No.
Well,
Things aren't looking good personally or professionally.
What's so crazy too about that is an hour before that news, or like a couple hours maybe before that news came out, I was out and about. I went to go grab a coffee, and the guy that was ringing me up, he had mentioned something about the Masters. He's like, "Oh, I'm so excited about the Masters. Like, I hope Tiger's gonna play.
Oh boy.
Like, maybe he'll make the cut." I'm like, I don't think he'll make
Nah,
the cut.
nah.
But
Don't think so.
and then like 3 hours later,
that
that
happened.
happens. I'm like, oh, I wonder how that guy's doing.
we have some breaking news here that I have to stop everything for. 12 tons of Kit Kat bars were stolen from a truck.
12 tons?
12 tons
Where?
of Kit Kat bars.
That's very funny.
I don't know. All I saw
Who
was the
stole
headline
it?
here.
They're
Where's
going
this
down the
truck?
road. This guy,
Clearly,
hey,
yeah.
I've got the Kit Kats. Meet me across the border. Here we go.
Somebody who needed a break, that's for sure. Wow.
See what he did there?
Including the blueberry muffin. The new blueberry
Oh, my
muffin Kit Kat was in there.
Come on.
I know.
Very muffin
That
Kit
is just
Kat.
not right.
I-
That's what they were after.
Probably. Those things are like gold.
They
so,
sure
so,
are.
where was this truck? Just out of curiosity.
He just
It was
saw
on the
up
road. I don't know. I just saw the
Oh,
headline.
okay.
That's all I saw.
no.
Not like I'm curious or anything.
I'll tell you what. We'll get all the info. We'll tell you next time you come back on Friday when we can talk more about this and see.
It was in Europe. The heist was in Europe.
Oh well, of course.
So it wasn't
Oh,
even
man.
here.
You
See,
can't take those.
They want the American Kit Kat bars.
Mhm.
Europe.
That is unbelievable. Yeah, they're going to have a shortage now. You better run out and get your Kit Kats today because you ain't going to have any for
So
Easter.
you're talking to people in Europe?
Here. Probably on its way.
I think when they took it in Europe, I think we're okay. I think our
Maybe.
supply remains.
I don't know. They're
safe.
saying we better go get some.
Well, I mean, it's difficult now
'Cause
with
this
the
is
Straits
really-
of Hormuz closed. You
gonna-
can't get the Kit Kats through there.
it's
It's
going
a
to
big
hurt
deal.
our right. Get real, people.
Thank you, Molly.
Take this seriously.
Have a great couple of days.
Thanks,
We'll talk to
Molly.
you on Friday.
Thank you.
Dixon and Vining Talk 99.5. Well, that about sums up most relationships right there. Yeah. 8:52, Dixon Divining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. We've been together since way back when. Sometimes I never want to see you again. Wow.
Pretty bad.
Great way to open the song.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I like it.
You know, you're still the one that's my better half. Then he gets to the chorus, and it's all like sweetness and light. No, but you're still the one I want to spend my time with, and I want to talk to you in bed, and I want to blah, blah, blah. Too late. You already said the never want to see you again part.
Yeah, that was it.
That would have started a fight with my ex-wife. That would have been over at that point. But wait till you get to the chorus. No, I don't want to hear it. Okay. 8:52 with Dixon Divining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Alabama Tree Pros ready to take that tree down. Tell you whether or not it needs to come down, by the way. If you have a feeling and you're looking at a tree and you're going, man, that thing seems kind of risky. I'm not sure. I might need to get that thing taken all the way down to the ground and chopped up into tiny pieces and hauled away. And you call Alabama Tree Pros. You can actually ask them. You can say, I'm concerned about that tree. I don't like the placement of it. I'm afraid it's going to come down and take the power lines out or land on my house or something like that. Alabama Tree Pros is going to give you an honest, real diagnosis. They're going to say, you know what? This tree is in terrible shape. You're absolutely right. We need to take it down. Or, you know what? We just trim up a couple of branches, and I think that's all you're going to need. Now, that's costing them money because taking the tree all the way down makes them more money, and grinding the stump makes them more money. But they're going to be honest with you and say, you don't need that if that's not what you want. If you want to keep the tree, we can work hard and keep the tree. They'll even come up with suggestions on how you can keep some older trees alive that might need some help. I got a beautiful dogwood in my backyard, and it's a little misshapen. It's lost a branch here or there. And I did ask Alabama Tree Pros about it when they were in my neighborhood, and I said, what's the story with this? They said, you got a ways. You're going to be good. Hold on to that one. It's so beautiful in the spring, and it is gorgeous. And I appreciate that because they could have just said, yep, we're going to have to come here, and you're going to have to spend some money, and we're going to take it down. Nope, not who they are, not how they do business. Now, if you do need a tree taken down, couldn't ask for a better company. Nobody I can find is less expensive. You want these guys. 308-4158, alabamatreepros.com. 308-4158 on the telephone. Make the call. You'll be glad you did. Scott once again asked for a third camera for Molly. Yeah, we're still working on that.
On it. Yeah.
These things aren't that terribly expensive, but getting it hooked up is a completely different story.
It is. It takes a moment or two. I will eventually get her up.
Well, I think we want to do a couple of things at the same time. If we could do that and a third camera a fourth camera, I guess, that would give us kind of a 3 shot so that everybody.
The whole room
can be seen.
We're
that
working
would be
on
lovely.
it. Mm-hmm.
Hardly anybody mentions of the Stallions with Molly. Well, that's our team, not an afterthought. Giddy up, says Thomas. I know. Don't get me wrong. If it were really that popular, Protective Stadium would be sold out every time. And I wish it was. I really do. Because I agree with John. A lot of fun. Games are lively. I watch them on TV when I can't go.
We got a beautiful new stadium.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's
easy to get in and out of there.
If you're thinking that it's less than football, you're thinking wrong. When you get there and you actually watch a game in person, you'll see this is real football played by real football players who are really beating each other up on that field. And by the way, the number of Stallions who have moved out of this league and into the NFL is overwhelming, probably more so than any other team in the UFL. And they go to great teams and they do great things. So this is real stuff, man.
Yeah, the kicker from the Stallions last year kicked a 62-yard field goal.
I know.
I think he's with the Saints, maybe. I mean, he got snapped up quick.
He did, because that's exactly what they needed, was somebody who could make that happen for them. Kicking becoming much more important in the NFL nowadays. This is a nightmare. This is the stuff nightmares are made of. A couple on a cruise ship. Guy is there. He's dressed to the nines. Okay, he's wearing a T-shirt. And kind of looks like me now that I think of it. And he's intending to propose to his girlfriend on this cruise. I guess somehow the cruise line staff did not get the memo about wait till I give you the sign, because they show up with a cake.
Oh, no.
And they start singing Happy Engagement.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
They were early.
Happy engagement to you. She's like, I'm not engaged. What are you talking about? You have the wrong table? Happy engagement. The guy's like, okay. I guess now. Yeah, he
Now's
pulls
as
out
good a time as any.
Yeah, pulls
Drop
out the box and, pops the question, and there it is. And she's kind of like, and he's got this nonplussed look on his face like, guys, I cannot believe you ruined this surprise. He is, eventually happy because she said yes, and then that'll change after the wedding. But still, he had the ring. He was ready to go. They jumped the gun a little bit. You kind of want those to go in the other, right? You want to pop the question first and then have the happy engagement song if you can do it, right?
The way it's supposed to go.
This is not the worst case of this I've heard. There was a case where a guy was bringing a ring through TSA. And they were like, what's this? Well, we need to check this out. Empty your pockets. We need to see. And he's like, don't do this right now. What do you... No. He ends up proposing to her in line at TSA.
Might as well.
Gets a lot of applause.
Yeah.
But
Take advantage of the moment.
And the TSA agents were like, "Oh, we just screwed that up for you, didn't we?"
But you know what? They'll never forget it. Where did you get engaged? The TSA line.
That's what I'm thinking about this.
Yeah.
You got a story.
Yeah, you got a story. Just go with it.
And sometimes a story is better than just having a boring old. Yeah, he popped the question on a cruise ship.
Exactly. Let me tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And here's what it is. You have a story, right?
Yeah, sometimes that's a better deal. And I can tell you, just looking at the picture of these two, there's a lot of video of this, the whole singing taking place or whatever. She is way out of his league. I don't know what he's thinking. This is not going to last. I can tell you that right now. It's going to fall apart pretty quickly. I'm just here to say they might not even make it to the wedding.
They might not.
Yeah.
The way this is going.
It's not a good look.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a rule of thumb, by the way, when it comes to this. And I'm not really a big fan of the whole asking in public kind of thing like this.
Yeah.
Unless you're 100% certain of the answer.
Yes.
Don't do it. It's a bad deal. It's a bad call. Now, if you are on the receiving end of one of these, you're at a hockey game, you're at a baseball game, they put you up on the kiss cam, you talk to the people ahead of time and you made a big deal, whatever, and now you're on the receiving end, you're the woman who's being asked, say yes in public.
No behind,
and
later.
And then when you get in the car later, you go, I only did that to not embarrass you. No, I'm not going to marry you.
Yeah.
I mean, because otherwise the shame lives on in infamy forever for this guy. And if you really care about him, you're not going to do that. But if you really care about her, you wouldn't do that in public anyway.
Right, not knowing what the answer would be. Surely you've had some discussion that she would have a heads up that it's about to happen.
I've seen it happen.
Oh.
I've seen it happen more than once. And I've seen it get turned down a couple of times. One time they came back later and went, that was rigged. We only did that, for the cameras because we wanted it to go viral and be a big deal. But there have been more than one occasion where somebody asked in public and got turned down in public, and that is a long walk from the seventh inning stretch to the end of the game and then all the way out to the car, and then yikes.
I think, a proposal is kind of personal between the two of you.
Exactly.
And private, everybody gets to do it the way they would like.
I suppose.
Private, to me, is just like, it's between us.
Probably better to make sure that you are on solid ground with this before you make that kind of public error. I'm just saying. If anybody's got a great proposal story, feel free to drop it here, 545-9950. We'd love to hear about it. 9 o'clock with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. I totally forgot that John was here, so instead of Steve's turn, dead air today. It's going to be good.
Are we? Okay.